Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you stopping by. So we're back here in my little filming area, and we've got my CAAD again, except for this time, we've got a set of carbon wheels on it. I recently got these wheels, which are a set of the Cannondale Hollowgram R SL 50s. So they're one of Cannondale's top-of-the-line wheel sets. They are 50 millimeters deep, and let's just dive in. So to go for specs first, we'll talk about specs first and then feeling afterwards. But the specs on these wheels, they are 50 millimeters deep, as the name implies. They are about 32 millimeter external width, about 21 millimeter internal width. They are tubeless compatible, but they are still hooked wheels. They are not hookless, which is something I was really looking for in a new wheel set. The hub on the rear is DT Swiss 240 internals, just in a hologram shell. So that makes it a little easier to get spare parts. It's a nice high quality hub. It's not DT's highest end, but it is very close. Next, let's talk about setup. I have the wheels set up with Continental GP 5000 STRs in a 28 millimeter width. These are set up tubeless. I'm using orange seal as the sealant. And with these tires mounted on this wide of a rim, they actually measure out to about 29.4, 29.5 millimeters wide, which is really nice. It's super comfortable, but also is narrower than the rim. The rim's 32 mil, these are 29.5. That falls into the 105% rule that you want to stick within for aerodynamic properties. This is my cat, Ponko. She's very interested in bikes and even more interested in me, so she'll probably make an appearance a couple times in this video. Okay, so next I have the rotors. I've got a set of the XTR Saint slash Dura Ace rotors. I believe they're the MT 900s. They're not the exact same model that I have on my other wheel set, but it's what the local shop had laying around, and they're competitive. They're equal with it in the Shimano rotor range. Then I have moved from the Shimano 105 11 to 34 12-speed cassette. So now I'm on an Ultegra 12-speed 11 to 30 cassette. It's both lighter, and since I live in DFW, it's pretty flat, so I don't necessarily need the 1-to-1 climbing ratio that this bike initially came with. So to review, these wheels are more aerodynamic, lighter, and have wider tires, so more comfortable than the stock wheels that came on this bike and that I've been running for a while. The stock wheels have a DT rim. We've talked about these previously. The DT rim is decent for an aluminum rim, but it is a pretty shallow rim as well as pretty heavy in the grand scheme. I've been running these with Dura Ace rotors and the stock cassette, which is that 105 11 to 34. They're also quite a bit narrower than these wheels that I have on the bike now. And so I was running 25 mil tires. With calipers, they blew out to 25.5, so pretty true to size and considerably narrower than the 28s that I have on these wheels now. I had been running them with Tubolitos, which are nice. They're light, and I have since put a butyl tube in one of them so that I could take out one of those Tubolitos and put it in my saddlebag as a lightweight spare option with the entire wheel set setup, that being the wheels, the rotors, the cassette, the tires, the sealant, and the tape. The wheel set comes out to 2,770 grams, which compared to the previous wheel set, completely built up. I did not weigh them, completely torn down, but completely built up. This wheel set saves 340 grams compared to the aluminum wheel set that came on this bike. Let's go ahead and get y'all a hub sound check on that DT240. Now, a quick reminder, we have started going to 2 podcasts a month, one on the 1st of the month, one on the 15th of the month. The first is going to be recorded live in the Peddler Bike Shop, as we have been. The second one, the one on the 15th, is going to be virtual between me and Ellis and occasionally a guest. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already. So as you heard, it is an angry sounding hub in a good way. I like it. It's got a lot of points of engagement and goes very quickly when I'm trying to accelerate. Now for feel. I've been riding these wheels for about a week. I did some climbing in Austin on them, as well as riding flat grounds here in Dallas. There's been quite a lot of wind both places, so I've been able to compare climbing, flatland, and crosswinds. So climbing, they climb better, they feel better, not considerably better, but it is noticeable that 300-ish gram drop in weight. I don't know if I was necessarily going up hills quicker because I was doing efforts or because of the wheels, but feeling-wise, the wheels felt like they were snappier on the climb, climbed up better. As far as on the flats, it is a slightly noticeable difference in rolling speed, especially once you get up to the 20 to 25 mile an hour mark. And then the crosswinds, you definitely can tell the difference in the depth in crosswinds. Get a little bit pushed around, but it's not bad. I am about 75 kilograms, about 185, 186 centimeters tall. So I'm able to handle the crosswinds with my weight. I just have to be a little more mindful than I was on these shallow aluminum rims. Comfort-wise is where these wheels are blowing the aluminum wheels out of the water. And obviously that's coming from the tires. So because I have basically 29 millimeters tires on, I'm running at about 67 PSI front and 70 PSI rear. And that just soaks up a whole lot more road chatter than a 25 millimeter tire could ever do. If you enjoy these videos, please make sure to like and subscribe. Lend a comment if you have any questions or suggestions. How do you think these hologram wheels compare to other comparable carbon fiber wheel sets? As far as the rest of the bike goes, there have been just a couple of small changes. I have added a mount to the front of my bike for a GoPro, which you've seen plenty of footage on if you've been following the channel, and also has the Wahoo mount right above it. And it was time to change the chain. We went with a KMC Gold X12. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of how the gold looks on this bike. I thought I would like it more, but I'm gonna run it until it wears out, and then we'll swap back to a silver afterwards. I went ahead and weighed the bike after installing the new wheels, and even with the Wahoo and the GoPro installed, including pedals too, including cages, everything you see here, the bike came out to 19.06 pounds. That's pretty crazy. Most of the time, whenever you're looking at an aluminum bike, you're weighing it, you're not going to take into account a computer, a GoPro. A lot of people don't run those because they're less aero. They weigh more. But this bike, a 58 centimeter bike, in aluminum with all this stuff installed, being 19 pounds almost flat, is pretty crazy. And I'm very happy with it. I don't plan on buying a new bike for a while. I'm going to run this and see how many races I can win. I appreciate you guys stopping by, checking out the build. How does this build compare to yours? Let me know if you have any questions about it. Let me know if you have any suggestions for me to change. I'm super stoked with how it's turned out, but there's always more that I can do. Hope you guys have a good one. See you next time. Thanks.